شكرا يا ربي شكرا هديت قلبي شكرا
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome all the listeners back to our daily session of contemplation from isolation and the reading of Hayat al-Sahaba, the lives of the companions radiallahu anhum ajma'een. And I hope that alhamdulillah everyone had a great day, a productive one, and a day where we had established some kind of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we were able to accomplish things that maybe we had not been able to accomplish the day prior to this one. If not, inshallah, it's never too late. It's still some time. Or inshallah, we can use the next few minutes that we have to learn, listen to the life of Rasulullah and his companions, and learn about their contribution towards deen and what kept them motivated and what kept them going. And by virtue of listening to that, inshallah, hopefully we can all hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us with some aspiration, some motivation, inshallah, by which we will therefore also try to implement those things in our lives, inshallah. So without any further ado, we start, inshallah, with the Arabic reading. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إصراره على الجهاد بما بعث به من الدعوة إلى الله جل وعلا. وأخرج البخاري عن المسور بن مخرمة ومروان قال خرج رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم زمن الحديبية فذكر الحديث بطوله كما سيأتي في هذا الباب في الأخلاق المفضية إلى هداية الناس. وفيه فبينما هم كذلك إذ جاء بذيل بن ورقة الخزاعي في نفر من قومه من خزاعة وكانوا عيبة نصح رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أهل تهامة فقال إني تركت كعب بن لؤي وآمر بن لؤي نزلوا أعداد مياه الهديبية ومعهم العوز المطافيل وهم مقاتلوك وصدوك عن البيت. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما لم نجيء لقتال أحد ولكن جئنا معتمرين وإن قريشا قد نهكتهم الحرب وأضرت بهم فإن شاءوا مددتهم مدة ويخلوا بيني وبين الناس فإن أظهر فإن شاءوا أن يدخلوا فيما دخل فيه الناس فعلوا وإلا فقد جموا وإن هم أبوا فوالذي نفسي بيده لأقاتلنهم على أمر هذا حتى تنفرد سالفتي ولا ينفذن أمر الله. وعند الطبراني عن المسوار ومروان مرفوعا يا ويح قريش لقد أكلتهم الحرب فماذا عليهم لو خلوا بيني وبين سائر العرب فإن أصابوني كان الذي أرادوا وإن الله أظهرني عليهم دخلوا في الإسلام وافرين وإن لم يقبلوا قاتلوا وبهم قوة. فما تظن قريش فوالله لا أزال أجاهدهم على الذي بعثني الله به حتى يظهرني الله أو تنفرد هذه السالفة. كذا في كنز العمال وهكذا أخرجه ابن إسحاق من طريق الزهري. وفي حديث فما تظن قريش فوالله لا أزال أجاهد على هذا الذي بعثني الله به حتى يظهره الله أو تنفرد هذه السالفة. كذا في البداية. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. My dear respected brothers and sisters, dear listeners, we have been reading about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and how eager and how devoted he was sallallahu alayhi wasallam to the mission of deen, to preach this deen to whoever he came in contact with, whoever he was able to, and at any cost, at whatever time. He never gave up. He never failed to seize an opportunity to invite people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today we're reading about one of the occasions when the Treaty of Hudaybiyah took place. Before that, when the Muslims wanted to perform Umrah, and they came But obviously the story is long, and they were rejected and they were refused. However, a treaty was made, and they had to go back without performing the tawaf of the Kaaba, and so on and so forth. They were not allowed. So now just a little bit of backstory. Just imagine the Muslims were persecuted in Makkatul Mukarramah. They were being treated very poorly. They were being tortured basically. As a result, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, along with the companions, were ordered to migrate to Madinatul Munawwara. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam leaves, and the Sahaba slowly they also migrate, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, spend some time with the Muhajirin and the Ansar in Medina. Thereafter, a time comes where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the Muslims. Imagine, like, you have this this feeling when you going back home. You're going back to where you belong. You want to go back and see and visit those places that meant a lot to you, and that was a part of your upbringing and your life. You grew up in that specific place. So obviously nothing can substitute home. So imagine all this Sahaba with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself coming back and trying to come back to Mecca, and not for anything else, not to fight, not to cause a problem, but rather to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and perform tawaf. And here he is coming, yet the people they had other motives, and they had other plans. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how, first of all, to control your temper, and to control to have a grasp of the situation, then control it accordingly, and to react in a positive fashion. It's something that we lack. We fall under situation, we come under certain circumstances, and we don't know how to deal with it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, imagine he's coming back, hoping. Everyone left their homes in Medina thinking they're going to be able to come to Mecca and come to Ka'batullah Sharifa and visit the house of Allah. Here they are being stopped in the middle at this place called Hudaybiyah, and this is what takes place. This is obviously not the treaty of Hudaybiyah itself, but rather what was related to that treaty that was relevant to this topic that we're talking about. That how keen Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was to invite people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if it wasn't the case, then to what lengths was he ready to go? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam resolved to fight for the duty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him with. Hadrat Miswar ibn Makrama radiallahu anhu and Hadrat Marwan radiallahu anhu have reported a lengthy narration concerning this incident, leading to the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, which will be mentioned later in this chapter. Part of the narration states that while Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba were stationed in the valley of Hudaybiyah, this man Budayl bin Waraqa Khuza'i arrived there along with a group of people from his tribe, the Khuza'a. This tribe were from the Tihama region. They are from the Tihama region, and were the friendliest tribe of the region towards the Muslims. There were people that were opposing Islam, obviously, and Rasulullah ﷺ and his mission, but these were among the people who were the friendliest to him. So they came to, inform him of something. He told Rasulullah ﷺ that they just had passed by the tribes of Amir bin Luay and Ka'b bin Luay, who were camped at some of the springs of Hudaybiyah, not too far away. They informed Rasulullah ﷺ that these tribes were ready to engage in battle with the Muslims and prevent them from coming to the Kaaba. They are ready to engage in battle, so they came ready to fight. Obviously, the Muslims had no intentions of fighting. They came to perform an act of worship. In fact, they were so intent on fighting the Muslims that they had arrived with all their resources, and even those camels that were close to giving birth and those that had just given birth. They brought all of these resources that they had. Why? Because they were determined. They had decided that they were going to fight Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba. They had prior knowledge, and they wanted to fight Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I have not come to fight anyone." Now we have to understand that you know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was mercy for the whole entire humanity. He was mercy for all of the creation, alayhi salatu wassalam. So look how he's dealing with it. Look how he starts off. He says, look, I'm not here to fight, but you know, I'm here to just perform Umrah. It is surprising that the Quraysh want to fight because fighting has already weakened them and caused them so much harm. If they want, we are prepared to enter into a treaty with them for a period. During this period, they should not interfere with my efforts on the people. And if I dominate over the people, and if they accept Islam, the Quraysh have the choice of entering into the deen which the others have entered into. On the other hand, if people get the upper hand over me, the Quraysh will have no worries. However, if the Quraysh refuse to accept Islam and they insist on fighting, then I would have no other choice, right? If you want to fight and you really want to fight, and I have to do what I came to do, and you want to stop me from doing what I'm doing, I am so dedicated to my mission. I am so dedicated to the cause. I am so dedicated to my deen that I swear by the being in whose control my life lies, I shall fight them for the sake of this deen until either my head is separated from my neck or this deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala flourishes. This is the determination that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed to this ummah for this deen. Look, there's just this one sentence is enough for us to take a mammoth lesson from here. That Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is teaching me and you that we will find and we will come across obstacles, but when it does come, we have to show this determination to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine the Sahaba, we read about Ammar bin Yasir radiallahu anhu, and inshallah we are reading Hayatul Sahaba, the lives of the companions, and inshallah we'll get to these amazing stories and these amazing individuals when we get to their stories and how they dealt, how they stood by deen and for the cause of deen, and how they stood by this mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they had made this mission of their own, how they endured all type of tortures, and how they endured all type of suffering, how they went through what they went through because of this deen. But they did not let go, they did not sell out, they did not give up, although there were concessions for them at times that if they wanted to, they could have proclaimed otherwise, and just so that they can get out of trouble. But they remained that way, and they did not even bother to, because they knew at the end of the day, this world is merely a life that we're passing by. The ultimate goal is akhirah, and they knew this was their job, and they knew this was their mission, and they knew they had to stand by this deen, and they knew that this deen was their means of salvation in this world and in akhirah, and there's no way where they're ready to compromise this deen. Where did they get this from? They got it from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The narration continues. Another narration of Imam Tabrani rahimahullah is narrated by also Miswar bin Makrama radiallahu anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Woe be to the Quraysh. Waging war has certainly consumed them. Although previous battles with the Muslims have weakened them, they are still intent on fighting. Why do they rather not allow me to continue my work among the people without interference? If the other Arabs gain the upper hand over me and finish me off, then they have accomplished their mission, right? That's what the Quraysh want. On the other hand, if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if Allah grants me victory over the other Arabs, the Quraysh will also enter the fold of Islam. However, if the Quraysh refuse to accept Islam and still have the strength to fight me, what do they think? I swear by Allah that I shall fight them for the sake of that deen which Allah has sent me with, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants me victory or this head is separated from my body." Now, my respected brothers and sisters and dear listeners, we have to come to an understanding within ourselves that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me and you in this world with a purpose. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ, that do you really feel that you've been created in vain? That we've been created in vain and will not return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us into this world? What is the purpose? Everything around us has a purpose, my respected listeners. Everything has a purpose. What is the purpose of this human being? And what is the purpose of the Muslims? What is the purpose of those people who claim that my Lord is Allah and I don't worship anyone but Allah and my Prophet is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Is it that we just pray and fast and give zakat and that's it? These are mandatory obligations upon us. These are the pillars of Islam. However, we have to represent our beloved Prophet ﷺ. We have to stand for what he stood for. We have to stand for what he, for the deen that he brought. That the blood and the sweat and the lives that were given in the cause to elevate the kalima of Allah, this deen of Allah, so that it reached the four corners of the world, so that today we could claim to be from a different background, not from an Arab background, yet to be claiming to be Muslim and reciting this beautiful kalima, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. It did not just reach us by fluke. It did not just reach us without any effort. It did not just reach us just like this. Rather, people have put their efforts behind it. People have put their lives on the line so that me and you can be reciting this kalima and be fine. This is what has happened. So we have to make sure that we become ambassadors of this deen. We become ambassadors of this deen. No one is asking us to fight for this deen today. There's no fight. Yes, however, we need to fight within ourselves. We need to fight. My dear friend, Mawlana Shu'aib from Toronto, he's also doing a series on the lives of Sahaba. I was actually inspired by him. By the way, you should tune in every night at 7 p.m. Tune in to the SMA website. They have it live stream. Alhamdulillah. If not, if you missed, it's on YouTube. Go ahead and watch it. MashaAllah. So he always says that today Muslims, sometimes we get excited and we want to fight the battle of Badr. He said you can't fight the battle of Fajr. You want to fight the battle of Badr. The battle of Fajr. You have to get that what do you call? You lifting all this weight, mashallah, and you're gaining this muscle mass, and you're lifting bars, and you are doing this many sets and that many sets, and you're pumping iron, and you're getting strong, mashallah, tabarakallah. If you can't get that tiny little what do you call this cover and this blanket off of you at the time of Fajr, then what fight are you fighting? What battle are you fighting? What battle are we fighting? So no one is asking us to fight these big battles that that were fought by the previous ancestors, our predecessors, our rightly guided people before us. However, we are asked to fight our nafs, our desires, and we are asked to represent Islam in a beautiful way, where we are kind and nice, and our akhlaq and our behavior, our mannerism are that, and that resembles that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Honestly, truly, I would say today's day and age, we don't need much. We don't need much to represent the deen. All we have to do is just be Muslim. Just be Muslim. Just do your thing. Do what you've been taught to do. Rasulullah said, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akhihi ma yuhibbu li nafsi." You will not be a true believer until you don't love for your brother what you love for yourself. You love to be good, and you love to be happy. You love to be fed. You love to be staying, clothed, and so on and so forth. Do the same for your fellow brother. Do the same for your fellow neighbor. Rasulullah mentions in a hadith that if you're cooking something and the smell of that food reaches your neighbor, give him also a portion. Make sure to put extra in your curry so that you can also give him that. You should not go to sleep fed while your neighbor is gone to sleep hungry. These are the teachings of Islam. This is what we stand for. This is what we need to bring out to the people, to the masses, so that they can see the beauty of Islam, so that they can understand that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was an amazing man, was indeed an example for humanity. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Most definitely Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had brought a beautiful, he was a beautiful role model for us. He was an amazing role model for us. We don't need to look right and left, here and there. We have our beloved Messenger ﷺ. And this was his zeal and his desire and his determination and his dedication to the preaching of this deen and this mission that he came with. Today, we are left with this deen. It's in our hands. It's how we do it, what we do with it. It's up to us. We either make it or break it. We either represent it in a good way or we present it in a way that that shouldn't be represented. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all towards the right path. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and ability to practice our deen as is ought to be practiced and also preach it to others. Having said that, we leave it at this for today, inshallah. Wa akhir da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.